lock-in switch?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Audio guys use it all the time. I don't know if you're generating from this or from...
All right.
I see. I have no idea what it is.
We're live.
Oh, we're live.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're totally live. There's Matisse. There's Matisse.
David likes to keep us on our toes.
Oh, yeah, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the 2 Discord notifications now from the event happening in I don't even know if they know that we have our own private Discord just for
I've
us
told
too.
some of them,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Some of them are in on it.
Yeah.
Hello, Magpie and Nemo and Jonathan. Tingbush, oh my goodness. Oh, who's that? Jake. So yeah, as many of you in the Discord know, maybe some of you not in the Discord would know, we have a literally in the truest sense captive audience here. We have a crew from CBS Sunday Morning here, and oh, my sister's here. Oh, thank goodness, you did it. Yeah, I know it's a bit of an adventure. Sorry. Oh, did you just drop them? You're not coming in?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Love you, sister. Thank you. I owe you.
Enjoy.
All right. So we have Girl Scout cookies here now. So we can divvy those up and figure that out. Anyway, what was I talking about?
You're talking about the crew here.
Oh, right. And how they just have to sit here and watch this now. We're in charge now.
Yes.
Anyway, but oh, that's...
And David's checking something else. That might be spam.
It might be, but like...
I have no idea. So David's getting a phone call right now.
Yeah.
Great
sorry.
timing.
No.
And Amy is here for the first time live, and so that's very exciting.
What? Oh, really?
Amy's here.
Oh, Amy, hello. You get to see us with our best lighting ever.
You do, yes. This is, I know, right, Nemo? This is what happens when you have a professional camera crew and lighting crew. It is amazing, and apparently we need to buy a bunch of lights and figure out how to work them.
I really like this one because it looks like it could be a decoration too.
It really does.
A very 60s type thing.
They make lights very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so David.
Yeah.
We had a poll.
Right. Okay.
And this was exciting to me because it took a while to figure out how to do this poll. And it took David had to be creative with some of the options.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and bring Safari onto the screen, I think. No, that's actually Lexergy where we did manage to get the Foxlang in there.
Yeah, shout out to Graham and helping out with Lexergy because now the Foxlang should show up for everybody as an option under the LangTime languages.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going to happen during the stream as I make changes. What will be interesting is if you refresh your screen, if you see the changes that I've just made.
Yeah.
We're going to see how that works. It may not, but we can try.
Yeah. By the way, George asked if we're in the same place. We are, but we have been
Moved.
we've been moved slightly. So now instead of being across from one another, we are kitty
Diagonal.
corner? Diagonal.
I say catty corner, I think, more often than kitty corner, but yeah.
Is it kitty corner or catty corner?
Both are acceptable, but
Right.
I feel I am a catty corner speaker.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, we've also tell us if you like the audio better. If you do, we might do this from now on.
Permanently, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Amy has catty corner. Does anybody have kitty corner? I'm pretty sure I always said kitty corner.
It was your natural first response, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. By the way, were the cookies found? Did you find the cookies?
Have the cookies.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
Good. Excellent.
If any of you in Southern California need a Girl Scout cookie dealer, we got you covered.
Okay, Magpie's got my back. I've only ever heard kitty corner.
Okay.
Nice, Jake. Is this an expression in British, in England?
I have no idea. I can look into that while you introduce the poll and get the poll settled.
I would love for us to have claimed ownership of that. I would love for us to have invented kitty corners. Kitty corner. Anyway, right. The poll. The whole reason I put Safari on the screen. All right, so our first poll of the season had to do with our sound changes and where we were going to cut them off. So kind of to bring everybody up to speed, especially if you're new, we're creating a language for foxes right now. But also this is an a posteriori language, which means that we're going to be deriving it from an existing proto-language. And that proto-language is the one that gave us the dog language, Haugoff. So we're using those sound changes up to a point, and that's what we're trying to determine right now, the cutoff point. So we came up with 4 different ideas, and I will go over them right now as I read them and remember them for the first time.
I'm going to actually cut you off for just a second because this
Sounds
is so
good.
fascinating.
Okay.
Kitty corner and catty corner both come from catter corner, C-A-T-E-R, which was a misspelling of the French word for four, quatre.
Oh my god.
And so it literally meant four-cornered.
Wow.
And in games, it was specifically used to refer to like the 4 dots of the dice, how they're on each corner, so the 4 corners.
Huh.
And
Like when the die happens to roll a 4.
and well, or the positioning of those dots. And so then the diagonal relationship was then extended from that, where it was like it's, you know, it kind of creates an X. But the kitty and catty are just really, well, catty first is a step back from catter cornered, right?
Sure,
Which
sure.
was already a change from the French. The kitty came later on as a, oh, I hear catty corner. And so kitty corner
Huh.
became another way of saying it. So I think that one is probably less common in dialects just because it is a further step away from the original. And people from England are saying, I've never heard it, so I'm guessing, yes, indeed, it is American. But like, I can't find a very specific thing online that says this is only American English. But our
So-
British speakers are saying, I don't use this and I've never heard it. So
I'm going to say then after the revolution, you know, when we had a strong alliance with the French, they came and introduced us to dice and spent a lot of time talking about where the points on the dice were. And we were like, but how do you use them? And like, no.
listen,
The points se cogía. And then,
listen, this is just a fascinating history. You can go on to the poll now. I just
Yeah.
needed everyone to know that that's where it came from. And so, yes. Oh, yeah, cattywampus.
Well, cattywampus, that means it's gone
Askew.
haywire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's off where you want it to be.
Yeah, it's
but
off
yes,
kilter. Yeah, that's not related, is it?
I don't think so, but I will.
It's just a cat version of the wampus.
Wampus. Looking up to see if I can find information on this now. I have not yet found information, so if you want to go into the poll while I'm doing a deep dive on
The
cattywampus.
second part may be related to wampish. Wiggle, twist about like a fish. It's a verb? Wampish is a verb?
That's amazing. But okay, all right, David. We're gonna bring it back.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to interrupt me saying, I remember the poll exactly, and I'm going to go over it.
Oh, well, I can tell you about the poll. I'm ready. I just need to remember the order of the options that you presented because I had pages of notes about this.
Okay, well, the whole thing was about, was it originally Bubba's idea or Dark Horse?
I don't think, was Dark Horse here last week?
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't remember who had the idea. Somebody said, hey, what if we more deeply, was it Magpie's idea? Anyway, the question was,
Magpie.
should we consider turning all of our labialized velar consonants into labial consonants? Because we had already discussed the move from the W, was it the W? We had already discussed a move in that direction with at least one consonant. And so then the question was, should we make this language wide? And with that, we started thinking about, well, what are we going to do with specifically the velarized K and G? And so that's really where it began. Depending on the outcome of this vote, it may be the case that we're not going to kill the velarized L right away. Instead, it may be wrapped into the sound change, which means there could be some variation, whether it occurs initially or finally.
And then there's
That
the
was-
uvulars.
that was where the change started. It was this velarized L that we're definitely getting rid of it. We're going to make it W. And then somebody said, why not make all of the labialized velars into labial variants? And so that's where it became. Now, then the question was, okay, so doing that is on one hand pretty straightforward, because the K with the superscript W would become a P. The G with that superscripted W would become a B. But then the question was, is there a way to make this potentially more interesting? Should we make that move, or should we bring the W down and make it into a consonant cluster? And so that was where this poll started.
Okay. I think that I can go from here.
Okay.
I think that you've caught me up to speed, and thank you very much, because I really, it wasn't clicking. It wasn't clicking. But the first one is the simplest option. So this is option A. This is turning all of the labialized velars into bilabial. And so if you had a theoretical, we have these, what do you call it? We have these four theoretical protoforms. We have, quack, quack, gwig, and gweg. And just straight up replace the KWs with Ps and the GWs with Bs. And so they would become pop, pock, beb, and beg. Mm-hmm. This is where things get slightly more interesting. So, option B was, I don't know if I had a favorite. I was ready to roll with all these, I think. But
there was one that you particularly liked, and we had to come up with a backstory to make it work. And so you liked it enough that you fought to keep it included as an option.
I wonder if it was the one that got one vote.
It may be. Is it option B? Because it was ordered second in my book. I don't know how you put them in yours.
Yeah. It was. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to show any of the results. But B. All right. B. Is a two-tiered sound change. Essentially, if a word ends in a labialized consonant, and this would affect the uvulars and also the L if it was still around, then it picks up an epenthetic ah at the end.
Yeah.
And it was just epenthetic ah. We weren't going to deal with harmony or anything like that. After that, then we changed them all to the labials. Mm-hmm. And so something like quack ends up coming out as papa. Kind of interesting. I don't know if I like this one. But anyway, that was B.
You didn't like it when I first came up with it.
Oh, I guess I still don't.
So anyway.
All right, cool. Option C. Labialized consonants are simplified word finales. They become plain. And then remaining labialized sounds become sequences of consonants followed by W. Okay. Oh, I see. And this wouldn't give us any P's or B's.
Right.
And
yeah, there was an option where it was
like
we do make a word final distinction, but it's really just going from qua to ka.
So this one, both quack and quack come out as quack.
Yeah.
This is the quack and gweg one. I love how ridiculous these sound. All right, and then we have option D, radical dissimilation. Mm-hmm. This is the one.
This is the one that you had to come up with.
This is the one that doesn't make any sense. But somehow we decided to have it make sense. Labiovelar sounds become labials before vowels. That's it. I called it dissimilation and was just like, done. Let's just call it dissimilation and say it works.
This is why I gave David 4 options, and I said, here are 4 different routes that I think that we could take to get to where we're going. Mm-hmm. And these are the 4 options, and I laid it all out specifically with a syllable that started with a qua and ended with a qua to show the differences. And one of the 4 options was pakwa, where the word final, it ended up taking the vowel, but then also bringing down the W, so it became a consonant cluster. And then that initial one, which was still a qua, became a P. And David loved the sound of it. He loved the look of it. He was like, I want this result, but why does it happen? And I said, I don't know. And to me, I am fine with ending an answer with I don't know. It just did. And David was not and needed some logic. And so then I was like, I literally can think of no logical reason why this would happen. And so David worked to come up with a reason, and I think is still unhappy with his response.
It's
And
ridiculous.
now may not like this option anymore, even though this was his favorite of the 4 I presented to him.
Oh, it's still my favorite in terms of result, but it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Essentially what it's saying is it's taking the labiovelar sounds and just turning them into labials before a vowel.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what we want to have happen, but doesn't make any sense. Oh, George being, oh yes, David has to justify everything. Come now. What's even the point of doing it if it's not justified?
And so anyway, so it would become at that point
And
step
by the way,
1.
I was talking about text layout.
Quack would become pak.
Yep.
And then later, that word final qua would become qua. So pa
Yeah.
qua. And so that is the process by which we get one going to P, the others not. So those were our 4 options. Now, David, how did the results go?
I mean, before getting to that, like the only way that this has to work is at some point in time in the history of the language they're like, we just can't have these qua sounds before vowels. Let's turn them into P and B. But we like them at the end of a word where they're not before anything. We love that. Then they had to cycle through that. New speakers come on and be like, I'm tired of entering these words with quack and things. That needs a vowel. And so then it does like the opposite.
Well, you see, the old-timey foxes talked with a very qua, qua, and they enjoyed that final pop, qua, pop, qua. But later, those young foxes liked to smile more, and they said, no, I want my mouth to be a little more smiley when I end pak, and so pakwa.
I'd say I wish somebody was recording that, but it's been recorded twice. Good Lord.
You're
Okay.
welcome, Amy. I'm so happy to be here for you.
Unbelievable. Okay, so first of all, the one that got 1 vote, I want to talk about this one because
Was it Papa?
it was C.
Oh, see.
It was C, but the 1 vote it got was at the conspirator level, which
And
means
so somebody gave a vote to it and then used their other votes for other things?
either that or they only voted once in like the conspirator poll and didn't bother voting in the others. Who voted for C? I want to know. I want to know. I don't think C's too bad. It's. I like C.
Listen, Rogoff was also saying maybe the foxes wanted to like intentionally distinguish themselves from dogs. So, you know,
That's true. That's true.
that could be another explanation.
Tabby, why did you vote only in the conspirator poll and not in the other 2? Or did you split your votes?
It was Amy's second vote, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so C got 1 vote. This was a very, very clear poll. I believe...
And Tabby did indeed split votes.
Okay, yeah. B was in second,
Okay.
A was in third, and the overwhelming winner was D, which, of course, produces, I think, the best result, but leaves us in the most tenuous position when this language comes up for linguistic review before the Board of Linguistic Reviewers.
Indeed. Well, listen, when that happens, I have some sound changes from natural languages that I would like to put up for review. So
Okay.
I'm okay with having some oddities. I will say there are some other reasons, and I had actually initially told David, what if the word finals actually changed first? So like the qua was fine, but then when it ended, they sort of did a thing to make more to do about the end of the word. But I don't think that order worked very well, because at that point it's like, why not go ahead and change the initial as well?
Yeah.
And so I'm okay with it being the order it is. We're going to make it a reality now. Because of the ordering, we're gonna leave the leveling. Oop, wrong tab. We're gonna leave the leveling, the L and the R that are labialized. It's gonna become a W pretty early on. And we need to leave it that way because word final L's and R's that are labialized are also going to be smashed. Mind you, the R's only come up because of consonant clusters, so they wouldn't be word final. But the labialized L, whether it's initial or word final, is going to be smashed to a W. Which means we can't really roll these two together, but it does give us the impetus where it's like, okay, we've changed this roi to just a wa. Now let's change, some other things. And here's where I need to write my first actual rule, because so far all the rules in the Foxlang have just been copied and pasted, and it was so easy. And now, here we go. Line 102. We're doing if a labialized consonant is if a labialized velar consonant is followed by a vowel, it goes labial. This is where we also then, David, need to discuss those uvulars.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because this was going to be a bigger discussion.
I did want to pull this out, though. This is Matisse. I'm not as fussed about intuition as David is, but I do admit getting rid of the labiovelars initially, but not finally, is an oddity. I honestly, that I think is the politest way of putting that. Okay, but all right. Back to what's real, and let me. I'm gonna put the document back on the screen there. I'm.
Wait, no, that's not Bib. Bib's workshop. Who is Bib's workshop?
What?
Commenting.
What is that?
I don't know, but I don't think it's Bib.
Voice of the workshop is alright. What? It's
Bib's second channel.
Is that you?
Is that you, Bibleridian?
If
that's really Bibleridian.
If it's really you, what is the name of my cow?
Everybody in our Discord knows that answer. Okay.
All right, a second.
Whew, the verified Bib is here. We're good.
There we go. By the way, just a little. I want to show everybody our new fox icon. I really like it. It's from a fox drawing that Jesse did for a presentation of ours.
On
where
fox language.
Yeah, where we were where participants were generating a language. So the first one, right? It was in Sweden, yeah.
The first one was in Sweden.
Yeah.
The second one was in Aarhus, in Denmark.
All right.
And we've done it since then in a few other places.
Mm-hmm.
Getting Bib on the right account prompted George to get onto the Conlangery account. So now we're all official. This is good. Okay, so David, I was going to write the rule, then stop, because it's we should actually stop and reassess. We know that gua and qua are going to go to B and P when they are word initial followed by a vowel. Okay.
So
So I know that's going to happen.
If it hasn't happened already, LW goes to W. Period.
It already has happened.
It already has happened.
So
this could be what triggers the change then.
Exactly, which is
okay.
Literally what I said already.
Today.
maybe like 2 minutes ago.
I was paying attention.
And okay, but here is the sorry, Jake, I just saw your comment. Here's the conundrum. I don't want to write the next sound change yet because I don't know if we should be wrapping uvulars into the discussion yet or if those are going to change later. So we have this round where suddenly our qua and gua are going to pa and ba.
Mm-hmm.
What about hua, the uvular Q? We also have fricatives, but first let's talk about the Q, which is a stop just like these others.
Well, here's the thing. I think that we have to write this.
Okay.
Because those are only because this is about the unique relationship between the velar and labial positions. I don't believe that same relationship exists between the uvular and labial positions.
Perfect. Then what I would be proposing then is that we first make these changes, which then, G and K. We first make the changes that were directly voted on in the poll. We then follow up with now what's going to happen with those uvulars.
We could do that, but we could also just say that the uvulars go to velars first, and then they're affected. It just depends. But are we keeping all the way up through sound change 9?
Now we are. Yes, we are keeping all the way through sound change 9.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and write this up. Okay, sound change 10 is now I don't know what, Q to P Celtic.
What is the Q?
Hold on a sec. Consonant, and this is less velar. Goes to consonants. K, W, and GW become P. Oh, right. For a vowel. Oh, look at me writing things like lexergy. All the spaces. Consonants qua and gua become ba and ba in all circumstances. I guess everything's still aspirated at this point, huh? Unless we can always introduce a sound change to just kill aspiration.
Okay, we don't have a P yet, so that's.
I guess it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter yet.
It doesn't matter.
We will. That will be
write it
something to discuss. Okay, but you say in all circumstances, but you just mean word initially.
In all circumstances described in the rule, which is, or that is, before a vowel and only before a vowel. Better?
Okay, just a second. Do I write this? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this the easy way. And GW go to P. Whoops. P and B. When? Oh wait, aspirated P for the time being. When. Oh, you know what? Okay, and then followed by. I think vowels are a class. Yeah.
So you're saying that language YouTuber was actually originally a part of Fleetwood Mac? Is that right, Jake? was Miles who said it.
I think I'm gonna need. Okay, I got that. Okay, okay. I am wondering. Okay, so the change works, but I'm like wondering if I can type this in a better way. Plus labialized. Goes to labial. Okay. I'm gonna see if this works.
I don't know, Yair. That's actually something I was thinking of. And for that reason, that's actually why I kept on aspirating things.
Okay. Goes to labial minus labialized. Okay. Okay. I wrote the rule in real terms, and it's very exciting.
Oh, you mean in Lexergy?
Yeah. Wait, do we have an O in the original, right? Apply. Oh, perfect. And now I'm just going to check and make sure that codas are discluded.
Discluded is a great word. By the way, just so everybody following along knows, we're eventually going to get those pharyngealized sounds. They're going to be utterly
they're
destroyed,
so going to be
decimated. So, don't get used to them.
Yay. Okay, so I've added this rule. We've got the front. Now we need the word final. If nothing comes after it, we're going to kill off these.
Yeah.
What happens? Wait, were these allowed in clusters?
What do you mean?
What consonant clusters were allowed?
Only a consonant followed by R at the beginning of a word, and that is it.
Okay, so was a labialized K followed by an R allowed?
Absolutely.
And so in that case, it does not become a P.
Huh. Well, what would happen is that the R would become labialized. The RW would become a W. And then the W would be deleted after a labialized consonant. And then the sound change happens. So no, it would still... So like Korab would just become Pa.
Yes, there it is. I see it. I actually have an example of it. So we're good. We're good. We've got it.
Now,
okay.
How happy are you with that? Because we can reorder this Rule 10.
No. I'm happy with that.
Okay.
I was not happy with thinking that we would have wow as a like qua or something with a qua ra as a situation because there's a consonant there, not a vowel. But I had forgotten that it already would have been deleted.
Let me just throw out this scenario for you. Proto, we're going to throw in an M. Proto-quam, sorry, that was a uvular. Proto-quam, modern pam. Proto-quam, modern quam.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what happens right now.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were just like saying this is what happens. So I was like, okay.
It's not what happens. It could be what happens. This could give us back initial qua in certain environments.
That is interesting. That's an interesting thing, David.
Because right now, those two different protoforms are going to become the same thing.
Okay, so just a second. Let me see what happens if I pop this here. And I'm just going to say...
Tay saying David was bitten in the leg by a central vowel as a child. Can't dispute this claim.
Okay. Yeah, let's order it so the rule you just wrote is actually now going to be rule 7.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have rules 8 and 9. Wait, does that make sense that it has the same rules as the dogs, but in a different position?
What do you mean?
Well, 1 through 9 was directly from Hauhof. And now what we're saying is the foxes underwent this other change, but it went before 8, but still underwent the same 2 sound changes that Hauhof underwent, but like on its own. So here is
if we deleted 8, we could have LW doing the same thing as Rule 10. RW wouldn't make as much sense because it's not velar. This is a rough one. Get it?
love it. So the deleted. As a reminder, the only way we get one of the ways we get a labialized consonant followed by an R is because the velar and uvular stops actually labialized in front of an R.
I recalled something like that happening. That happens?
That's rule number 1.
That's rule number 1. Oh my gosh, that's of course biblioburization. Biblioburization.
So I can definitely see the LW following suit.
Mm-hmm.
We could, because the labialized R and taking care of some of these makes sense. Like it makes sense that a language would end up deleting some of these things. But I feel like we would need different, kind of trigger points for when it would happen and what would happen. And so if we separated them out and just said like the LW goes first, but it goes with all the other velar consonants.
Mm-hmm.
Except then we're left with, in a situation where we have like kal, we would end up with kalwa.
Yeah.
And so that is, we have to decide if we like kalwa.
I don't hate it.
And it would still never happen word initially because we would never have that L followed by an R.
Yeah.
So like that wouldn't be an issue. How are we feeling about kalwa?
Oh, I think it's fine. I think we are going to have to get rid of that velar L eventually and move it forward. Just so that it doesn't sound ugly.
And are you also noticing I can't say it?
Kalwa.
So that is to say, if we move Rule 10 to become the new Rule 8, we're going to rewrite Rule 10 as Rule 8, add in the velarized L, deal with the R later.
Deal with the R later.
Which means for the time being, we're stuck with where we have this. Well, I guess this, that would have already happened. We're going to be momentarily stuck with it.
Which is how it was in Haugoff overall. Qual. Qual. But I see a future sound change that just takes all of these sequences and turns the labialization and the R labialized into just a W.
Do you think that would be a strong enough change to then affect the word final doing the same?
What word final?
Because at this point we still have like word final. We haven't written that rule yet. Like,
Okay.
if this suddenly starts becoming qual, they may kind of like
Sure.
like that sound and then kind of make just kind of adding a qua to the end, and the inserted vowel, which doesn't have to be an ah. In my head it's been an ah, but it could be the last vowel from the base. It could be, like ah if it's on round, oo or o if it's round. Like we could. How you feel?
I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good.
Okay. You're smiling.
Thinking of Bloodsport.
You're off. Okay.
How you feel? I feel strong. Duke's my man.
Okay. Let me double check and make sure these are defined the same. L is voiced velar approximate. W is voiced labial. Perfect. Okay, so that already, the way I wrote the rule already takes care of the LW. Okay. So I'm taking away the labialized approximate merger.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right, David.
Mm-hmm. All right, so then I'm taking that away, right?
Yes.
Okay. Also,
consonant cluster simplification, because we're not there yet.
all right.
Now we can deal with the word final.
Well, we have to add to this, right?
You do. It's already taken care of on my end.
And W, respectively. Okay.
Okay. And aspiration, pharyngealization. Okay. Making notes about don't forget about these things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you ready to do the word final?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about trying to be too quiet. They're all right. They know.
We're just gonna start just cleaning up some stuff.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
While you're on, we're just gonna clean up as much
Perfect.
as we can.
Sounds good. Did it? No, it's still raining, isn't it?
It's still raining pretty good.
What a day.
It will be raining.
Oh boy, I can see it out there. Yeah.
Hey, we were actually grateful for the rain today because it meant
Yeah.
you all weren't competing with leaf blowers.
Did David leave? That's good because when it rains in the freeways.
That's what I'm going to be on later on.
Yeah.
Last night, driving in the rain on the freeway in the dark was very stressful.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I'm glad you made it, and hopefully today will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
see how it's looking. It depends on whether we have one more element we're going to shoot. The one you guys just.
Oh,
work
sure.
on.
Yeah. Okay.
But if it looks really bad, I'm going to see if Scott would mind.
Oh, all good. Yeah.
All All right. Oh, that's right. We haven't had the mail delivery yet.
It's raining and delayed.
Yeah. So you guys are gonna miss that. We have this mail slot over there, and it's the loudest thing in the world.
Do we want to write in this word final? No, wait. What do we want to write in next? I'm ready to write another rule. I'm ready.
Yeah. All right, that rule has happened. I think next, it's a very small rule, and I would love to throw other sound changes in between, but I think next has to be the epenthesis. After the labiovelars. I want to put in more rules just because I want to imply that more time has gone by, but
When you say that, do you mean only word final?
yeah.
Ooh. As a fun bit of news, what I'm doing is in the official thing. So if you refresh and look at the Foxlane changes, you should see the changes, and you can see what outputs we're dealing with right now.
Oh, that is nice.
You may have to refresh the screen every time, but like anytime I change something. But like you should see our final rule right now is Celtic spiration. In other words, inspiration from Celtic.
Oh, I do see that. Oh,
And
nice.
so then on the right, you can see like what forms we're dealing with right now.
That is really, really cool. Oh, hats off to Graham Hill, creator of Lexergy. Incredible sound change applier.
Indeed. Okay. So you want to go ahead and do the epenthesis, and then we can
didn't-
play.
You didn't put any initials that actually change?
What?
You didn't put in any initials that actually change?
Yeah, I
For the-
have guo, which changes. And so I was able to test it. The
Okay.
other ones got killed because
Oh,
they
there's guo,
did
yeah.
change, and then now they don't. So
Yeah,
I can add another one in though.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter if you did.
I know.
It won't show up for me.
Yeah, I know. That's all right. It showed up for me, and it showed up.
Okay, so I now have one in, so next time you'll see it. I did have one in, but we changed the order. All right, so now the epenthesis for the word final labials. Is that correct, David?
Yeah, but starting to feel the few hours I slept last night.
I'm
Man.
sure.
Oh, tonight's gonna be good. We don't have to
Yes.
worry about being up early anymore for the rest of our entire lives.
Or for 48 hours. So David, what are you feeling with what vowel quality is actually inserted? A standard one vowel across the board, reduplicated vowel, or like kind of a mix where we're gonna end up, getting this vowel if it's round, this if it's unround, or something like that.
I had done A. Sorry.
Just A across the board.
I had,
Mm-hmm.
but that we don't need to do that. But let me just write that down. Wow. Inserted after word final labialized consonants. And this is why we might talk about uvulars now.
Because they would get the epenthetic vowel.
It sure would if they still existed at that point. Toothus. So good to see you.
Okay. When okay.
It's raining harder.
Okay. I've got the rule in and it is working as intended.
Yeah. Now that it's written down though, we can revisit it.
Yeah, and we can add things or whatever. But it's there.
Yeah, I did. I did A first of all just as a placeholder. Second, in Howhoff, we have variation in this. I believe it shows up as O before after non-high vowels and U after high vowels.
Oh, it does.
No, when we insert something because of the labelization. And so I thought this would distinguish it. Copy vowel would also distinguish it, but we still, at this stage in the language, have a number of two vowel sequences.
Okay. I want to throw out another suggestion. It could, for the moment, also be a schwa that's inserted. Nice central vowel, right?
Yeah.
Just there. So it makes sense that it's epenthetic. It's just there. Later, we're going to do something about the schwas, but it would give us a distinction between the and the schwa in that word final position where we could play with it like it was originally in all of us. This is originally a schwa.
We still have schwa at this stage.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
And it's just, it's something that we could play with. The schwa, so any word final schwa that's just word final would also be in the same situation, but I think it could give us some room for playing with what happens when we do kill the schwas. Because another thing I think may end up happening, and this isn't going to affect what we're dealing with right here, right now, but we had talked about when we kill the pharyngeals, doing something to the vowel quality. And so this could play a role in compounds if there were a pharyngeal. Anyway, it's just it could play a role. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be good to just insert the schwa and then see what happens. But that's also up in the air and we could change our mind and go back on it. Okay, so David.
Yeah.
We've now got that step taken care of.
We're eventually going to have to deal with the uvulars.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know, David. Do you have any feelings? I want to know your feelings.
I think that we are aligned in our goals of wanting to destroy both the pharyngealized consonants and the uvulars. Is that correct?
Yeah, I had been more open to potentially keeping some uvulars, but definitely not all of them. But I'm also fine with deleting them. I wasn't all in one camp or another.
You should definitely, push the phonological aesthetic of this language, I think.
The only one that I would really be invested in saving is the stop. To tell all of our people who are blowing up at us right now. And part of that is we don't have any fricatives at the velar placement, and I see that velar uvular fricative area as collapsing. Kind of becoming interchangeable for a while.
Let's take a look at the chart.
And so, you're right, Tinguish. It doesn't feel especially right, and I don't know why. And so it's like I don't know why. In part, I'm pushing other things forward, including, like I said, eventually we'll get rid of pharyngealization, including that pharyngeal H. So it's like I'm kind of pushing the language forward. We've already pushed the velars all the way to the bilabial region where they're velarized. So it's like we've already made that push. So it feels like the motion of sound change in this language is moving forward. And the only reason I could see potentially keeping the Q is that there's already all the velar stops. And so there's less of a reason for that system to collapse, but there's a heck of a reason for the uvular and velar system to collapse in the fricatives. And so like, I see that being pushed forward. But even then, that's not to say I'm necessarily thinking we should 100% keep the Q. We may play around with pushing things in other ways. Like, what if the Q pushes into velar? Would the velar push to palatal and so on?
Well, that's something I hadn't considered. Something I was going to semi-suggest, maybe quasi-propose, is that if we see the absence of the labialized velars, and that absence is felt, it could trigger a pull chain. Mm-hmm. And so it pulls qua to qua, and then pa and ka just merge in ka. And it pulls all the uvular fricatives to the velar position for the time being. And so we have ha, ra, hua, and ra for the time being. Mm-hmm. And then the uvulars are just gone. I think that everybody's a fan of that. I think that they really want that to happen, if I understand chat correctly.
And I do want to say, I promise you we won't judge if you like other sounds than we do. Otherwise, there are people in our community who would have been banished long ago.
So Jake is suggesting, by the way, qua to pa to.
I love you, Jake.
I do not pretend I don't judge. Unlike all those folks that say, I don't judge. Yes, you do.
I'm not saying one way or the other. More of a joke. Not all of a joke, just more of one. Oh, Jake. Okay.
I like Judge Judy. She really leans into it. She lets you know right at the outset, yeah, I'm judging.
Yeah, let's just do it. Let's make this happen, because at some point you just got to say this is the change and we're moving with it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
otherwise we'll just keep talking about potential changes and not moving forward.
Okay.
I don't even remember. Is this going to happen before the word final epenthetic vowel? Or after?
Oh, it's going to. If it happens If it happens before, there's never going to be a chance to distinguish it. If it happens after, there might be. I don't know.
The only way if it happens after, the only way is if we kill the schwa before we move the uvulars. We could kill it in a way where the uvular and pharyngeal affect the schwa this way, and velar forward affect it this way, and then the merge happens, and you get like that vowel, because we had already talked about how the pharyngeals may affect the vowel, and it may be pulling the vowel in a certain direction, and so it may affect more than schwas. It may affect like the whole vowel system.
Okay.
And then
All right.
they merge, but you're only ever going to get what used to be a uvular before this kind of vowel, and if it comes before this kind of vowel, that means it used to be velar.
All right. Patron sanctioned uvular velar merger. All right.
And is this just going to be, if you're a uvular consonant, you're now velar?
I'm gonna go ahead and write them out. So
We got to see. I may
This
need to create.
forces
No, Graham already had all these in here.
extreme.
Gosh, Graham, you're amazing.
Popular.
If I haven't said that enough yet, you are.
Whereby.
All right. Oh, I should go and see where you're actually typing. Oh, Miles, it must be the sauna clogging up the vibes. Making your video beach ball. All right. So far we have that. I do have a rule already written, and it's working as expected. And so we're set there.
Wait, Miles was in a sauna, like a real sauna?
According to chat, yes.
Wow. Is chat reliable?
Well, I don't know. Like, you can say you're somewhere and not be there. And so, like,
True.
just
All right.
according to chat, that's...
Like, I'm trying to imagine, like, I mean, is Michigan, like, the most Finnish of states? Like, does Miles have access to a sauna in their place of residence?
Well, I know Minnesota actually has a lot of saunas because of the
Oh,
the
sure.
overall
Yeah,
influence.
Minnesota is definitely northern Minnesota, yeah. Oh, Tethys. A gum sauna. I love it. Oh, Miles. I see it started with Miles. I was indeed at the sauna at my gym. But said gum. I used to do the sauna at the gym because my friend Scott encouraged me to do so.
Are you in a Finnish place? Must
no.
be incredibly Finnish.
I-
You assumed that, Michigan must be very Finnish to have a sauna for Miles to be in.
Well, you never know about a place like that where half of it isn't even connected to the other half, and by half I don't mean half. But yeah, I used to do that, and I don't know if I enjoyed it. I don't know if I got anything out of it, but I did it, and I think that's the most I can say about it.
But you like saunas.
In Finland,
Okay.
I don't know.
Jake is back after protesting. Okay, so now that Jake is back, we can continue with killing off all the sounds that everybody loves.
Miles is just dropping some information. UP, which stands for the Upper Peninsula, by the way, for
I know.
Michiganders. Apparently, it's a lot of Cornish people, and they have tons of pasty places.
Good to know.
This is like, I could have been introduced to pasties at 16.
Also, you know, they call themselves the Yoopers.
Really?
Yeah. UP-ers.
Hmm.
Yoopers.
If it were me, I would call myself the upper.
Then it's like, the what? Upper what? Okay, so David, we've got this.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate.
Yeah, I think that's
It's
worth
been an
celebrating.
hour.
That's worth celebrating. Wow.
Man.
Here we go.
I won't throw it at David today. Usually I get to throw.
Oh, now we can see the whole jar because of this new setup. Yeah.
It's not because of the new setup. It's because we have them here instead of up there.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I could always bring it on camera.
By the way, they're asking us in chat if anybody wants some Copico. They're hard coffee candies. Yeah.
Yes? Ooh!
Yeah, I thought you might not. But yeah, these, let me tell you, this is good stuff right here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And this is why we called our conference, our convention, the CopiCon.
Yeah.
Because we eat these on every episode
Yeah.
to celebrate.
Cheers. Ah.
Okay.
Copico when Jesse is ready to move right along.
Well, I also, Agatha Christie type phonemic murders happening. That was perfect, Rogov.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. Watch this. Watch this. They're all in red now.
All right.
Okay. Whatever I was just gonna say, forget it. Never mind.
Done.
I was thinking briefly about moving some velars to palatal, but I don't think that we can warrant it.
Because we don't have any palatals yet.
Well, no, but it would be. We could move K and G to palatal, and then just to make K the new K. K would stay Qua, and we just lose G. It would remain every so often with Gua, but we'd lose G, which I don't hate, because as you know, in terms of like phonetics, whatever, you're more likely to have B than P, you're more likely to have K than G, and it has to do with a level of contact and voicing. And so we could just lose G entirely except in Gua.
Okay, and so a segment.
I'm trying to give you your palatals.
It wasn't mine. It was an idea.
No. But I just know that you like them. I mean,
a segment like say ga becomes ja. Ja. We could then also have cha. So it would be the K and the G coming up, right?
Sorry, say it again.
The K and the G would be coming up. So cha and ja.
yeah, just a regular K and G.
And then the Q moves in to become K and Kwa.
Mm-hmm.
The labialized version will have partially moved to a P, but will merge where it is left with the uvular labialized Kwa, Q. Is that correct?
Yeah, so our new velars would be ka, kwa, and gwa, where it stays, which would only be before R, right? Assuming we still did that.
The Kwa?
Remember when we had the KR sequences and the GR sequences? They were going to be our only remnants of kwa and gwa.
Right now it's any word final as well.
You're right. Never mind.
Because it's
No, you're
only...
absolutely right. Yeah, yeah.
So like it would be... Really, I mean, it's like
Fairly common, yeah.
the Kwa is moving to Pa in some situations, but staying Kwa in word final and before an R.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now the Kwa is coming up to join it, and then the Q is becoming the K. How do you feel about that, audience?
Let's ask them.
You gonna ask? And I'm gonna go ahead and add this in as a rule just to see it in action.
Mm. Oh, sure, Miles. So the goal then, we're going to take regular K and G, move them to palatal, whether it's actually kya, ja, or cha, ja, we don't know. The kwa is going to be going to P sometimes. It stays before an R. And gua is also going to be sometimes, but it stays before an R. We're going to have our uvulars moving in to take the place of K, and also a new kwa. And so our final sequence here would be something like cha, ja, ka, kwa, gua. Wow. Really splitting the vote between stoked and eh. Interesting.
Sure are.
But how does Biblaridian feel? Because really that's all that matters.
Okay. Now, I'm also curious how many of you are feeling pretty about it because you're still upset that the uvulars are gone.
Good question, Patrick. If Biblaridian is so great, why isn't he on the stream?
Has been on, should be on every week. Insists on living elsewhere.
That's true. Oh, it'd be really cool to have more of you live in California. You could be enjoying this rain. That is the most Biblaridian response ever.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Oh, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
we can leave it in red because it will be killed, but that labialized L is technically still living at this point.
No, I know. No, I know. Because this was accurate as of the end of last
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah. I just didn't know if you had wanted to change that.
Yeah. Do you guys want umbrellas? I feel bad.
This is really awful.
All right.
It's a little rain.
It is a lot of rain, but
What's a little wetness?
they are loading up the equipment that is no longer being used in this moment, and so we are experiencing the biggest storm in well over a month. I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So last year we had all the rain all the time. This year it's been a little drier. So this is nice,
Yeah.
I have to say.
It is. It's good for our ecosystem. Bad for
Yeah.
having to load electric equipment.
Yeah.
So. So Carnwyn is asking with the KW
It's a,
not shift.
I mean, it's a decent question.
I mean the GW for that matter too. Like
Yeah.
not having all of them
My thought is that the labialization prevents them, because it's like,
because it's starting to get too close to the front where you don't
Wow.
get.
I mean,
What?
yeah, it's, yeah. Dark Horse, any language can exist of only anything if you want. Can a natural language? No. Can a possible theoretical language? Of course.
And also, only liquids like that. That's really limiting. Well, yeah,
Got a lot
but I
of
mean,
different sounds in there.
some of those are glides. So if you're going to separate approximants into liquids and glides, you got to take out the glides.
There was no glides. It was the air was always coming out of the sides. Look at the tongue. Look at the tongue.
I think they took their cameras away. They
Yeah,
missed
they
that.
did. They missed it.
Man, that's something. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna leave it as is for now, just because I want to. If we decide we don't like that, we can always take this rule out later.
The palatalization rule.
Yeah.
You want to do it? Ooh, I got a little Kopi chip.
Yeah, I've already put it into our Lexergy. I put it in before, obviously, the uvular to velar merger, because otherwise it wouldn't work. We can undo it later, or modify it later in some other way.
Okay. So this is weird because it's palatalization, but not in the way that it's usually meant. It's literally turning things into palatals.
Yeah. I just called it shifting palatal.
Okay, so
I need to go through and actually make sure I'm calling these things the same thing as David, because when we look at the document,
or as
we need them.
or as Carl would put it, palatal.
Alright, so this is style. Okay, and then I name mine a little bit more. Alright. I'll call it a literal palatalization.
And I totally spaced on this and couldn't remember if you were saying it or they were saying it, but are we moving la to ya? Yeah?
1 second.
Yep.
I can't turn my computer to you. Litera, palatalization, fine. Watch what happens. It's like it turns it from a rule to a non-rule.
That's
but
weird.
it still works. It works. I don't
That's
know why
good.
it's white, but okay. Okay. So now the rules are all the same. The right now I just have it as a stop.
Palatal click. All right. Right now it's just the stop, so not the.
Just the stops right now, but we had talked about shifting.
Maya. Mawa. Maya. We could do it. We could keep. We could have it keep moving.
Yeah.
We could have it keep moving. We could have it keep moving because right now they're palatal, real palatal stops. Cha and ja.
Yeah.
We can have them move forward to post-alveolar and essentially just have the L move forward to post-alveolar as well.
And becoming more like
from
ma,
ya to la.
la.
La. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, I like this. I like this.
So this is everything velar that's not labialized is moving forward, but the roi is still staying back there for now.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. Whoop. Palatal. Oh, I need to define what does the palatal L look like?
Looks like an upside down Y.
Symbol. I have to change keyboards. There it is. Took me 8 tries, but I got it. Plus voiced palatal approximate. Okay. Okay, now we've got it. And it works. Had to add. Okay. Do you want to go ahead and write in that continual shift or leave it as is for now? David.
I want to leave it as is for now.
Okay.
I don't anticipate that there's going to be anything that's going to affect it. So I think we should just make a note of it, but let's leave it purely palatal for now.
Okay. Okay. What? Retro Fox, love it. Trying to catch up with chat, but what I get is people are not happy. And as unfortunate as that is, here we go.
All right.
Since you put in our current midpoint, no, we'll still leave that L. We know we're getting rid of it eventually. Okay. Oh goodness, my back hurts. We've been sitting in these chairs like all of the day down here.
Also, you and I don't mean in general. I mean you specifically. You feel the stress in your back. I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, it's getting a little brighter. Is the rain diminishing at all, or no?
It is brighter, but yeah, I don't know that the rain is doing anything helpful. Okay. I too am feeling the effects of waking up early.
Yeah.
So one thing, David, I want to just say, and people can call me basic. I'm okay with keeping the aspirated stops.
Mm-hmm.
Or just saying it's like allophonic variation. Yeah, sometimes they're aspirated, sometimes they're not. But like basically, it has no effect on the status of, say, like a aspirated P versus unaspirated P. Which you should put a P in our labial column because we totally have a P now, David.
Yes. I guess it's in green.
But like I don't think we need to do anything about it other than like if at some point we want to kill it and say they're all unaspirated, that's fine. But like it's not like gonna change because right now every voiceless stop is aspirated. It's gonna do absolutely nothing to distinguish this versus that, which means it honestly doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a way to pronounce. What are some effects that losing pharyngealization could have on a following vowel? I just want to get some ideas down. If for no other reason than this may be the poll for where we're going, is what effects will losing pharyngealization have? And this includes not only a pharyngeal stopped, but also that pharyngeal H is going to be lost.
Yeah.
And so what effects might it have on vowel, languagist, right, lowering and backing?
I was also, I don't know if this makes as much sense, but I was thinking maybe it could prevent raising. And so if we had some raising from, say, A to E, it would prevent that. But yeah, lowering and backing.
And actually, magpie is reminding me of something that I had 100% forgot about, but I think you're absolutely right. Magpie is saying there is a suggestion of aspirated stops becoming fricatives and pharyngealizing stops becoming plain. Pharyngealizing. Pharyngealized.
Yeah.
Stops becoming plain. The B is the only place where it would collapse.
Just be a merger.
No, the D too. The voiced stops would just be a merger because they're not aspirated. Down
and forward. Think about that. So, Hada. Huh. Hada. Because, yeah, it's not really Hada. It's a... Oh my gosh. I need to think of an actual word that begins with this. Word that begins with H. But it has a long vowel after it. Why am I not thinking of anything? Dang. By the way, I just want to comment that Dark Horse is on fire here. Retro Fox, Kopi Kitsune, Foxatives. Incredible.
Okay, David, I think, and I know you're thinking about that, but I think what to do with the pharyngealized consonants will be our next poll. And I say that because one option will be having those aspirated consonants move. And so even right after I said just leaving them alone, now I'm saying maybe we'll do something with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because Magpie reminded me that was actually one of the original ideas. So one option will be to introduce some fricatives. We could also like split that option into what fricatives will be used for, say, a th going to a fricative. Will it be a th or a s? Like, staying right where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then another option could be like it affects vowels and nothing else. But it could also change the consonant quality and affect the vowel quality when it loses pharyngealization. So I feel like that's a solid 4 options to play with. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to remind myself the basic differences. Vowel effect. Okay. Dang it, I'm struggling making my little superscript look like a superscript.
I think it's a swell script.
It looks like a 9. So there we go. That's right. We don't currently have an S. You're absolutely right. I forgot we currently have an S.
Also, though,
Or don't have an S. Sorry.
I think their point was that it's an alveolar stop, not a dental one. So.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just imagining a fox with his little tongue between his snap. There's a particular one I'm thinking of.
Well, we can do combinations of with or without the fricative shift. So.
Dark horse, for the most part, foxes are not actually magic users. Let me remind myself.
They've made so many trips out of our house.
I know.
And there's so much stuff still.
Yeah, I know.
Like, this is a setup.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
So foxes have 3 gamblers. They're the main ones that have the gambler class. They have 2 archers, 2 rogues. 3 rogues. And then they have a bard. And then after that, they kind of have a grab bag of magic classes. They have 1 solomancer, like the dogs. They have 2 umbermancers and 2 pyromancers. Oh, but that might shift. Or would it shift? Oh, yeah, because they would have used to have been aeromancers, and now they changed to pyromancers, right? Right, because aeromancers are coming with the bats now. But then shouldn't that color have changed? It did there, but it didn't there. Huh, anyway, what you looking at?
Oh, I was just seeing if there's any other equipment behind us.
Yeah.
Sorry. I got sidetracked as David was talking about things.
Yeah, all I keep thinking about is how much I want to vacuum. There's going to be so much vacuuming that happens the second that we're able to vacuum.
Pharyngealized consonant becomes breathy aspirated, but will merge. Okay, but B. Oh. Aspirated B and D.
This is wild. OBS only takes up like 46% of my CPU percentage, whereas that error that I had with Safari takes up 100. But luckily, we're not having that error right now, so.
So your battery's not dead?
It's dicey. We're at 3:34 p.m. and my battery is at 30%. And so theoretically, if you have 25% per half hour, we should be okay.
Has it? But sometimes it goes faster on the back end.
We'll see, yeah.
Okay. Miles, you never vacuum. We kind of have to.
What are some other things you never do, Miles?
I guess very technically speaking, we could just sweep, but that feels like more work. All right, so I want to push off the pharyngeal discussion to the poll.
Okay.
The pharyngeal discussion is then going to encompass the aspiration discussion, because that's going to be part of it. So let's talk then, and we can We can put the rule in, but reorder it. But why don't we talk right now when you're ready?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Like, those should be velar. The RW situation, the labialized R.
Yeah.
We could also talk about what to do with those labialized consonants.
So
Because they are in general going to be changing, but the RW, as I said, could be the trigger point for the other ones to change.
I am really, really, really happy with the fact that we have qua and gua at the end of words. I think that is going to be very fruitful in case we can somehow squeeze inflection into this version of this branch of the tree. I'm not happy with a velar L still present in the language. With the awa, I think something needs to happen to that. And yeah, we still have the RW thing that we want to get rid of. R and L are both liquids. And so
a velarized liquid. Or labialized, not velarized. Labialized liquid.
awa. See, if like, let's say that you actually had this word that was malwa, malwa, malwa.
Yeah, the L will start to disappear.
It could, and I think this may win us back some fans. It could become a geminate W. So instead of malwa, it's mawa.
And that's the only geminate in the language?
Outside of compounds, yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting in a bad way.
Usually, well, I mean, it's, Languages is loving this geminate glide situation.
And Magpie has a very good suggestion there. Because we had talked earlier about W going to V. And so you can imagine if we had this geminate W, it stays as a W, regular W goes to V.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. Let's do it.
All right. All right.
We want to do this after the uvular-velar merger? Or before?
After.
Okay.
After.
What do you want to call it?
We'll call this lateral redistribution.
Okay. And this is going to be... Are these grouped as... These are the only approximants that are labialized, right?
This is ridiculous. I don't know why I'm doing features here. Let's just do this.
The R, though, is just going to go to W and then disappear?
Well, that still needs to be dealt with.
Okay, okay.
That does still need to be dealt with. I haven't forgotten about it. Guavox.
Okay, so this is just specific to the uvular L. Okay.
By the way, none of them are in the house at the moment, and also we don't have any cameras on us. I feel slightly less self-conscious.
Ready to take the little sound box off.
Oh, right.
All right. So it just becomes W. Do I have any of these? I don't think I have any of these in the.
Nobody has ever actually said whether cats can have salami. Every single time I say, like, okay, I get the joke, but can they have it? The response is always, yeah, as a little treat. It's like, but can they?
Okay, it works.
All right.
Because that's already become a W, so done. Okay.
Okay. All right. I believe you, Jonathan, and I'm going to remember this time. And
You don't even have to update Lexergy. It just shows you
nice.
real-time changes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
That's amazing.
As a little treat for being so nice to me, Jonathan, I will let you make me the chocolate espresso cookies that I enjoy so much.
I didn't realize you were still in the house.
Oh yeah, I'm here just working away. Wait, we gotta nab those shots after you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry if I alarmed you.
No, I was just like, there's
No,
movement, but the
wrong
door
one.
is closed.
Do you do you need any chocolate over here?
I'm good.
All right. Did you want a hard coffee candy?
Oh what?
So it's a candy called Copico, and it's coffee.
Oh yeah, I'll try that.
Oh yeah, these.
I'm down for that.
These are amazing.
I respect your love of chocolate, caramel, salt,
And coffee.
and coffee.
These are really good. These are not to be missed.
Where are they from?
Java? No, not
Indonesia,
they're
I
from
think.
Indonesia.
Indonesia. Okay, I was going to say maybe like Turkish.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they actually are a coffee company. So they just have Copico coffee, but then they made these candies from their coffee, and these are international.
Those are great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This should be prescription only.
Uh-huh.
It's really.
Yeah.
No, I love those, and when I saw how big the thing was, I was like, this might end me.
Okay. So we've got the L taken care of. Now we just need to take care of the R.
Yeah, now we need to take care of the R. All right. Okay. So ultimately, we know what we want. We want Quora to become Qua and Quora to become Qua, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. As opposed to, because Qua becomes Pa, and so Quora is going to become Qua.
Yeah, older. If there were Qua sequences as well, those are going to end up becoming Qua as well.
Yes.
Like doubly.
Yeah.
There actually is going to be a merger there where we have old Qua and old Croix, both becoming Qua.
Yes.
Okay. They're going to be rare, so I like that. All right. Let's do this. We'll call this rhotic desalination.
What is that?
The removal of salt from the rhotic.
Salina?
And if you remove the salt from the rhotic, it just tastes like nothing. May as well just be W.
Anyway, that's what I'll call it, because that's what you've called it, but what? Rhotic desalination. Okay, done.
Sequences of labialized consonants followed by the labialized rhotic resolve in a CW sequence, e.g.
Interesting. Can you define features? I know what to do. I know what I'm gonna do. Okay. Goes to minus labialized when it occurs for that, then whoops, R W goes to W.
Chair back in place. And then we're going to just light this up a little bit like this.
All right.
They'll probably extend the...
Little shop talk for a moment. Yeah. Did you want to? So you want to get us working on the couch, and you want to get us as we usually work? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Then we gotta pull that thing.
Yeah, I'll pull it out now.
Let's do it.
Yeah. We have a couch that can extend or retract, and yeah, there you go. So you pull and then kind of push, and yeah, there you go.
Let's move that chair back over there.
Okay, so one thing I don't know how to fix.
Yeah.
Graham had built in like a syllable defining thing, which is very helpful,
Yeah.
but as it is, qua doesn't fit the syllable structure. No syllable pattern can start with a K and continue with a W. That I don't know how to fix.
Well, we don't have a proto W, right? Like just the segment on its own?
Right.
Okay. Why don't you just add it to the syllable structure? That's like the easiest thing to do, because then we don't have to worry about, because it's not a proto. It's a little cheap,
Maybe,
but
maybe get a couple of
I don't
computer
know
screens
how to do that.
or not.
Oh wait, maybe if I just put
you're right. I can
comma
do that.
W. It worked. I figured it out. Never mind.
Makes sense.
Comma, W. No, doesn't work.
Okay. So now suddenly we have qua, which was not originally a possible onset ever,
Yeah,
being an onset
yeah.
that could then drive the qua becoming qua, you know, like the what we have right now with the leftover labialized consonants just becoming wa, you know, like whatever the consonant was and then wa, so gua, qua.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So that so we need a new sound change that's just called delabialization, and that's just going to be CW goes to CW. The labialized stops are dispensed with in the second most humane way possible.
how do you specify that you want this cluster to occur? Okay. Nothing goes to W when realized.
There's discussion.
And
Yeah.
then plus labialized goes to minus labialized.
There's discussion about how it's difficult to do syllables in Lexergy, and I do agree. It is rather difficult. And so it's the kind of thing where it demotivates you from doing syllable level sound changes and things like that, because it's like you don't want to have to figure out how to do it in Lexergy. Either that, or you just save that part for doing in your head.
Okay, I made it though. I made it work.
Okay.
It works. We've got it.
Do you have a question?
No, I was just looking.
Okay.
I was seeing if I could figure out a simple, cheap lighting solution for you guys.
Ooh.
That's why I was kind of looking. Can you put a hook in the ceiling?
Yeah. Oh, we can do whatever we want.
So this is considered what's called a China ball.
Okay.
You could buy a cheap China ball with a socket, and it'll just be kind of a lantern.
Mm-hmm.
Those are cheap. You hook it and kind of put it down in the middle of your table with a, I would say, 4,500 Kelvin light bulb.
Oh.
You'll get this nice soft light just for this area.
Dang. Okay, hold on a sec. Actually, no, right, so this-
Home Depot will sell the China balls for like 20 bucks a piece.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a simple lighting, but it's actually what's called, this is a version of what's called the China ball.
Okay.
So the China ball will be Home Depot if you ask them for a China ball.
Yeah.
Just get one with a light bulb fixture in it, and I would still highly recommend 45-degree Kelvin.
Isn't that really, really white?
45.
Mhm.
It's a mix of outside and tungsten. Because if you have outdoor light and tungsten, it's a mix of half and half. So 45 degrees Kelvin will.
Oh, 45 degrees Kelvin.
Yeah.
Not like, you know how it's not 2,700.
Yeah, it's 4,500.
4,500 is a
Yeah.
halfway between
Yes.
daylight and tungsten.
Yeah.
If you go all tungsten, it just be really warm, and then you get this blue light coming from outside. But if you get 45, it mixes between the daylight and the tungsten to give you a good balance of light.
Wow.
And if you don't quite master that and you have
Mhm.
questions, I can
Yep.
just write to me and I can write to Scott.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And this is a simple where you could just hook it, put a hook,
Oh,
But-
yeah.
Super light.
light, and then just kind of dangle it to an outlet with a little switch. It's a pretty simple solution for
Ooh.
really good lighting if you do a bunch of streaming right here.
Right on.
And we do. All
Yeah,
right.
I like
So
this idea.
It's one of the simplest, cheapest options for soft light, and it's just like you were saying, it's just a nice light fixture that you can just leave if you want.
no, that's perfect.
That's also an idea. Gosh, I wonder. It wouldn't work because like that light switch operates the
Yeah,
light
the
out there.
outside.
Yeah. So it's,
Yeah, just an
I
inline
don't know.
switch.
But we'll-
One of the inline switches.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah, or a
right.
foot switch, you can just kind of tap and just go to.
Yeah, yeah.
It's-
True.
That's the simplest
True.
solution.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And it would just basically put this like right here.
Yeah.
And we want it coming from the front, right?
It's a China ball, so it'll go
Okay.
360. So a light wherever you're sitting down here, it'll be nice
Nice.
lighting on your face.
So now, everyone, you've heard the news. It sounds like we may be permanently attempting to do some lighting fix.
Everything probably under $60.
Nice.
I like this idea.
Nice.
It's all business expenses anyway. But yeah, we're an extremely unprofessional stream. It's honestly.
Well, but this is a simple solution to just
Oh yeah.
bump it up a little bit.
No, I know.
'Cause
That's
these
what I'm
cameras-
saying.
These cameras aren't the best, so the better light you have
Yeah.
is gonna make the stream and chat better.
Yeah.
It's not gonna hurt it because more light is just, unless you have sunlight coming in the afternoon, like right over here,
Yeah.
they'll just blast you. But close the blinds and you'll
Yep.
be fine.
Yeah, no, I was just saying we're a very unprofessional stream, which means it's embarrassing for, you know, you folks to see it. But that's all right. We don't need to be super famous. We just need to have our small circle of friends who get angry at us for killing uvular sounds.
You want that in to be Rupert?
Let's see.
All right. So
Oh yeah, we've got 5 minutes. So
we have finished
yeah,
the major things I wanted to do. I
and
don't
we got
want
through
to
the delabelization.
Yeah,
so
and
that
I
was
don't
good.
want to hit the pharyngeal consonants yet because that's going to be the poll. So we're going to
Yeah.
not do anything with those.
And then both of those are now very, very killed, which is nice. Oh my gosh, we do have a proto W. I forgot that. So we just need to remember ourselves not to enter any of those consonant clusters at the proto stage.
That should actually be fine. Because David, there is a proto word syllable structure versus a modern syllable structure.
Nice.
And the proto only allows R.
Good.
And so we are absolutely fine.
David, who sits where usually?
I sit on that side of the couch. Jesse sits on that side.
I sit closest to my yarn.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of good starts. One thing I do want to put on your radar, David,
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing something different with our diphthongs.
Oh, well, yeah. No, I know. I've
Something's
recognized
coming up.
Yeah.
Something's coming up with vowel changes.
I've recognized that the diphthongs are right now in a very temporary state.
Yeah.
And this, I think, poll that we're doing right now is going to be the start of something.
Yeah. And I also think it may be a potential start of a language change, whereby we're going to end up with more units potentially sounding the same, like more homophones.
Oh.
And due to that, we may start marking things potentially lightly inflectional,
Yeah.
maybe a tiny step up from lightly inflectional. We may start actually marking things so that way you know this is a noun, this is a blank, this is a, you know, like where we may even get a little noun class or something going on.
Yeah.
Just a tiny one
Or
to start delineating.
Yeah, or start doing mass compounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. I am very excited to see where that goes.
Yeah.
All right. Last 2 minutes, David.
Yeah, this is your chance. Anybody say anything. We'll just say whatever you say in chat.
I think the most sound changes I have ever by myself made have been like 25 for a single language. Now, we made how many for some of our LangTime languages? I think 38 was the biggest number we got to.
Yeah, you know, the most recent were one of the two languages that we worked on for the movie, or that I was doing. I had more Lexergy files than sound changes.
Gotta save those Lexergy files.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. I can't believe that, like, this is the sequel. So the first one's coming out in July, right? And then it's going to be whenever the sequel comes out.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's going to be so long. Anyway.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot to deal with and keep track, which is one of the reasons Lexergy is so amazing,
Yeah.
because it allows you to plug it in and make sure it works.
By the way, I have no idea if Graham did anything, but I have not had a recurrence of the problems that have been
wonderful.
Occurring for me for Lexergy. It ran pretty smooth. And indeed, I was able to see you changing things in real time.
In real time, which is amazing.
That's wild.
Amazing.
I didn't know that was a feature of it.
And so now, and also when we start getting like certain forms that we definitely want to keep in there as tester forms,
Yeah.
that will show up for you as well, which is also very cool.
Mm.
All right. Well, we have made it. It is 4:00, and we need
13%, not bad.
That is not bad at all.
Yeah.
And we do need to move on so that way we can wrap up and
Yep, send everybody home.
Yes,
into the
in the
rainy
rain.
weather.
But thank you all for being here, and we look forward to seeing you again next Thursday.
Yeah.
Normal time, normal place, but maybe with upgraded lighting.
All
We'll see what happens.
right.
All right. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.